Hello, everybody. This is Eleni, and I want to talk about shame. And I want to talk about what actually happened to me with regards to shame. A few weeks ago, I was doing a meditation, and the meditation was all about clearing whatever emotions we've still got stuck in our body. And the meditation asked that I remember a scene where I felt shame. And a particular scene came up which made me feel extremely ashamed. Now, this is a scene that's popped up over and over again in my mind's eye, but I thought that I had dealt with it. I've done a lot of healing work and I thought that it was gone. But as soon as the meditation finished, I literally cried for, I don't know, 3 hours or so, and I felt very shaken up the entire day. But after I cried and cried and cried, I released it and it left my body. And then I knew that I needed to bring this out to the world and create a podcast, which is going to launch soon, called The Shame Game. And the reason I've called it The Shame Game is because every experience that we have on planet Earth is a game. Because this is not reality. Reality is somewhere else. Reality is in another realm. And this is a game that we have created so that we can experience all the emotions, so that we can go through all the things, so that we can understand who we are just a little bit more. Because put it this way, if we always did ourselves proud, if we always said the right thing, if we always did the right thing, then what do we have to compare it that with? We don't. Whereas when we are out of alignment, when we say things that don't make us feel good, when we do things that don't make us feel good, then we understand who we are. So the particular shame that made me cry for so long, just a few weeks ago, was something that occurred a good 26 years ago. And yet here I was still holding this in my body and not being able to face it. And it's something I've never told anybody else. And that's why I thought I need to speak about it. I need to tell people so that people know that it's okay to tell their story. And that's how the podcast was birthed. And so in the very first episode of the podcast, I'm going to be telling you about what my shame is, exactly what it is. I'm going to tell you what the scene was about. And I felt like I had to do that. I really didn't want to do that, to be honest. I felt that I had to do it because how can I interview other people on revealing their shame when I wasn't prepared to reveal mine? And so I needed to be the one that did it first. So I did. I did it in episode 1, which we haven't launched yet. And then every single week we interview a different person on shame. So the thing is about shame is that it's whatever we have done does not mean that that's who we are. It just means that that's where we were at that point in time. It was our level of awareness. It was our level of consciousness. We're forever growing and evolving. And it simply means that at one point we didn't have our best moment. We didn't master that moment. That moment was a moment that we are not proud of because we didn't do what we thought we could have possibly done upon reflection. But you know what? It was the best that we could do at the time. It really was. We couldn't have done any better than what we've done at the time. Now, that doesn't excuse bad behavior. It just means that let's get real about who we are, that we're not perfect, that we do make these mistakes. It doesn't make us bad. We are good. And let's start talking about who we really are rather than the pretend us, rather than the part of us that we want everyone to know about. How about we talk about what we are ashamed about? How about we show the world every single part of us that we don't want to show the world? Because when we do that, something magical happens. When we do that, we get this superpower, this feeling that I can do anything because no one's got anything on me. I've told everybody about, whatever it is that I've done. And then I know that I'm not that person. It's just something I did. It's not who I am. And we need to differentiate between our actions and who we think we are. We need to own our actions. Absolutely. We need to own them and say, this is what I've done. We need to then learn from them and then release them. How do we release it? By just talking about it, by letting it go. Because once you talk about it, the power of the shame starts to dissolve. And then we grow from it. So let's stop the judgment on ourselves first. Because when we stop the judgment on ourselves, that's when we stop judging other people as well. We have to become a more compassionate society, and it starts with us first. We have to be compassionate towards ourselves first. I know that I'm a good person. I know that I have a beautiful heart. I know that I'm not that person that hurt the people that they love the most is it, it was an action. It wasn't me. It was completely misaligned with my values and completely misaligned with who I am as a person. And so our actions reflect where we were then, not where we are now. We are not our actions. We need to stop the judgment and start the compassion. The aim of this amazing podcast, which I'm about to launch soon, is so that we can show our vulnerabilities, show who we really are, give voice to that shame, and then it diminishes, the power diminishes. And so it's about becoming empowered from the mistakes we made, from the actions that we're not proud of. And it's about being real, because you know what happens? When you are real with someone else and to the world becomes real with you. Otherwise, we're all just being fake. And what's happening at the moment is that we are very attuned to fake. We're very tuned when someone is not speaking their truth. We must speak our truth. We must be honest about who we really are. And that way, the people that we're speaking to and the world around us will always show us the same back, because whatever energy you give into the world, that's what we're going to get back. And so, it was a real big shock for me that I was carrying this amount of shame 26 years after the fact. And, it's no wonder we get sick when we're holding this in our bodies, this kind of energy. And we want a quick fix by going to the doctor or going to a psychiatrist to give us a pill. What does that pill do? That pill basically takes away the symptoms, but the symptoms are giving us a very powerful message. The symptoms are telling us that there's something going on here that you need to get real about. And it's in your body, it's an emotion, and it must be released. So we need to stop with the magic fixes of somebody else can help me, somebody else can heal me, when all healing happens within. All healing happens within. We need to get clear as to what is really going on inside of us. And so a question to ask you, just to ponder, maybe if you have 5 minutes today, take a bit of time, close your eyes, put your phone on do not disturb, and ask yourself for your higher self to bring forth a scene that you feel ashamed about, that you feel shameful, and it'll come up for you. And you will feel the emotions. Don't stop the emotions. Don't distract yourself and go and do something else because you don't like how you're feeling. We need to feel it. Like that day, I cried for a solid 3 hours and I released it. I let it go. I helped it leave the body. I felt so much lighter. I felt very shaken the whole day, the whole next day. But I thought, what can I do about this? What can I now give back to the world? I heard all these people and this is what I did. What can I now do to make the best out of that situation? And that is to bring a podcast called The Shame Game, where we talk about our shame, where we connect through our similarities, where we connect through our vulnerabilities, where we connect with who we really are at our core. And we know we're not that person that inflicted that pain on someone else. Or we know we're not that person that somebody else inflicted the pain on us. Either way, we know we're not that person, because at our core, we are beautiful souls that are made of pure light. And we came to this earth to experience all the wonders that this earth is giving us. And that means the wonder of pain and the wonder of joy and the wonder of everything at the same time. But what we try and do as humans is say, no, I don't want to feel that pain. I just want to feel this joy. It doesn't work like that, because the pain is still there. It's still inside. We need to face the pain. We need to stop taking pills to make the pain go away, because all the pills do is just help us cope with not seeing the pain and not feeling the pain and pretending the pain is not there. And I'm not saying that antidepressants or anything like that don't have their place. Of course they do. But their place is really to help us to get over a bump, and until we can face whatever it is that we need to face. It's not supposed to be a crutch for the rest of our lives. And so let's start getting real with what's inside our bodies. What are we embarrassed about ourselves? What don't we want to show the world? Because the particular scene that I'm talking about, I haven't told anybody about. And talking about it on my podcast publicly. So it's a very big deal for me to do that. And that's the kind of courage we need to have. We need to say what we're not proud of. We need to say, yep, I did that. I'm not proud of it, but I did it. It's not who I am. And I've learned from it. I've learned that that's not who I am, and that's not the way that I'm going to behave. So if this video resonated with you, please find The Shame Game on YouTube. And I'm going to start putting up the episodes very, very, very soon. This is an epic, epic thing that I'm embarking on. And I would so love your support to play the shame game, to own it, to speak it, to learn from it, to release it, and to grow from it. So see you there. See you on the Shame Game on YouTube. Sending you so much love. So much love. See you later.